Hello, this is Alba Gomez and welcome to Amplify the podcast. I am incredibly passionate about helping men and women amplify who they are and how they show up in the world. Let's have a conversation about how you can amplify your confidence and presence so you get the results you want in your business and career. Welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Amplify. I couldn't be more excited to be here today with all of you after a little break and after having learned so much of doing this podcast for 12 episodes in Season 1. So we took a little bit of a break. I really needed to kind of rest, regroup, see what I learned from what I did, and came with a new idea for what Season 2 is going to be all about. So we're going to be having 12 episodes, and we're going to be focusing on how you can increase your presence and influence. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to be sharing some of the information I only share with my one-on-one clients. And as we did on Season 1, I'm going to be sharing a concept. My intention is to educate you and inspire you and share a practical tool at the end that you can implement straight away so you can start getting results in your business and your career or your life. So let's start by really defining why you need to increase your presence in influence. So let's start by defining what is presence and what is influence. Presence for me, and obviously based in all the definitions I have learned by studying a lot about presence, is the energy you bring with yourself when you enter a room. It's not only how you carry yourself, how you stand, how you look at people, but how you feel inside your own skin and body and how you communicate to the world who you are. Is that energy that let people know who you are and what you are about. Now, what is influence? And I really want to clarify here that I'm talking about influencing others with your ideas and suggestions. I'm not talking about manipulation. And there's a lot of misunderstanding around this concept. So I want you to understand that if you are a human being, you are influencing everybody in your conversations, your kids, your husband, your wife, your colleagues, your clients, your boss, your friends. Influencing simply refers to the fact that you want people's really busy minds to stop what they're doing and they pay attention to what you have to say. That is influencing, and that's why influencing others is really important, because you want to be that person that is listened to, that is trusted, that is respected, and that is pay attention to what you have to offer and share. You want in your personal life your friends and family to really want to hear what you have to say and take it into consideration. And more so in your professional life, either if you have a business or you work in the corporate world or for a small business, when you bring your ideas, you want to be influencing those you share them with. And if you want to get your colleagues or your team to collaborate and work with you, you want to influence. If you are a leader, influencing is one of the most important skills to develop. So we are talking here about increasing your presence and influence, meaning how you get to communicate in a way and how you get to share in a way who you are, that others stop and pay attention to what you are saying every time you speak. So as you can see, this literally applies to all of us, men and women, young and older, no matter if you're in an entry position or you're further down the track. It is absolutely important that if you are a human being, you master the skill of learning how to increase your presence and how you influence others. And that's why I'm so excited to be sharing this season of Amplify the podcast with you, because I really want to share very simple tools that will completely transform the way you are coming across to others. And actually, we start by understanding how we come across. So the way I have structured this second season of Amplify is today is going to be a little bit about an introduction to why your presence and influencing others is so important. And then we're going to get a little bit in my personal story as to how I got to where I am today and how I discovered the importance and the tools that allow us to increase our presence and influence and how that relates to your personal brand. And then we're going to be going really into the steps by steps and the concepts that you need to understand and the tools that you need to apply so you can start really making the most out of who you are. Because you might have heard me say this before, you don't need more skills. You don't need another course. You don't need to learn more concepts. What you need to do, I consider, and it's my professional opinion and what I've seen with the hundreds and thousands of people that I have helped through my online courses and in one-on-one and presentations, workshops, is we need to make a better use of the skills we already possess. We need to increase our confidence in our abilities, and we need to become masterful at communicating, not only with others, but at communicating the value we bring to every conversation, to every meeting, to every project. And by mastering these skills, you are going to start getting better results or quicker results. And you're also going to feel, which is really important for me, and I hope it is for you as well, you're going to start getting a different level of fulfillment. You're also, by going through these steps that I'm going to be taking you through this season 2, you're also going to start getting to know yourself a little bit more better. And by doing that, you are going to be able to feel a new, different fire in your belly. You're going to be able to start making little tweaks and changes here and there that will make you feel that you are more you. You're going to feel more comfortable on your own skin, and you're going to be able to tackle situations, conversations, the easy ones and the more challenging ones, in a way that people get to see that you're a capable, intelligent individual. We're also going to talk about a little bit about the things that you might need to further develop. So we need to find where might be those weaknesses, and then through all this process, you're going to come at the other side. If you start implementing these simple tools, you're going to come up feeling more confident, more clear, more directed. Your communication skills will be stronger. You're going to articulate your message in a better way. You're going to be able to be that person that is seen, that is remembered, that stands out in a very graceful way. Not with arrogance, not because you believe you're better than others, but not hiding, not going invisible, not worrying too much about what others think of you, but really learning to bring who you are fully into all conversations and situations in a way that you feel comfortable, that you feel happy, that you feel aligned, and that you are clearly communicating who you are and what you have to offer in all opportunities. So it becomes kind of very clear now why we must spend time and effort increasing our ability to influence others and making sure we are projecting a strong presence. So in case you still have a little bit of a doubt, or you still think, why would I devote some time on my busy life to increase my presence and maximize my level of influence, I wanted to share the story of a client I worked with recently. This client came to me because he felt he is quite high up, and he's an accountant and lawyer, and he was quite high up in a company. I am not allowed to disclose his details, so let's call him Eric. So Eric really was successful, let's say, in terms of responsibility and the role he was working at the moment. He recently moved companies, and he was very pleased with how his career was progressing. However, he felt that to a certain extent, he was not taken as seriously in social settings within the work environment, and he was not invited to some meetings. He knew he could bring so much input, that he could share so much. He was just left like a little bit more in a silo doing his work with himself and his team. So he came to me because he felt that his level of influence within his kind of group of people he worked with, I forgot the word how you call that, was not strong. He was not feeling like he was being taken into consideration. So we started looking at different elements, and we did an assessment, like what I usually do with my clients, to understand exactly where they are, where they want to go, how are they being perceived. And one of the steps we do at the beginning as well is really getting my clients to understand how they are actually perceived. So they get a questionnaire that they share with some specific people in their lives, and we're going to share a little bit more about this later in the podcast series. And with the results we got, it was so fascinating to see clearly what was the root of the problem. And it was actually quite simple. Understanding what we need to kind of adjust and tweak is really important for me because it makes us be more efficient when we're working together. Sometimes it's really simple, but sometimes it takes a little bit more work just to really, even though the thing we need to tweak is simple, we need to change our way of behaving, and that takes a little bit of time. So once we were able to understand what was the perception, it was really clear for me, and I was able to share with him that he is a very kind-natured guy who is more into the introvert side and into the quiet side. That he is not confident because he is. But he tends to be the very considerate person, and the person who also thinks that if he doesn't have anything of extreme value to share, he prefers to go quiet. So it was quite obvious from the feedback we got from the people around his circle of professional circle that people considered that he was a little bit too invisible. By that I mean that he was too quiet, that people sometimes wondered what he was thinking. Some people actually even gave an interpretation of his behavior as sometimes he came across as rude. Other people felt not so confident sharing what they were feeling because they didn't know what to expect from him, and others simply just felt that his quietness was indifference. And that could not be further from the truth, because this guy really, really cared, and his reasoning behind not being so outspoken is because for him it's like if you don't have anything of extreme value to say, you don't say it. So he was just going a little bit under the radar, and that was making him to be seen invisible. As a result, people started treating him a little bit in an invisible way. So this is why we really need to understand. He intelligent and skills-wise, this guy is a brilliant, almost a genius. So this is when it's really important to understand that you can be really good at what you do. But if you are not creating a strong presence that is influencing those around you, you're still going to go under the radar. Expecting your good work to do all the talking is going to lay you stuck where you are today. This applies to you if you're in your business, starting, advanced, or if you're in a company or a corporation. We really need to realize that we live in an age and time where who we are and how incredible good we are at what we do is not enough. We need to learn how to start communicating in a very graceful way. This is not about arrogance. Very gracefully learning how to say, what to say, and when to say it. Even if you're a shy introvert person, and doing it in a way that doesn't sound that you're just speaking up for the sake of it, or that you're just being arrogant, trying to show up how good you are to others. So as I said, there is a way of doing this that is graceful, that can feel authentic, but you need to make sure that your presence is telling so much more than just your skills, and that your level or influence is not only felt by your colleagues, peers, clients, potential people around you that can give you opportunities, but also by you. And it is when we connect these two elements of the presence and influence with the real, confident, clear, directed version of who you are, that incredible changes happen in your life and in your business and in your career. That's why I am so excited to be sharing what season 2 of Amplify is going to be and how you can increase as well your presence and your influence. So I am very excited to be here with you next week, where we will continue and we will start getting a little bit more into how this presence and influence can create incredible changes to the result you're getting into your life and your career. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Amplify. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe. Also, I will love it if you leave us a review. See you for the next episode. Bye-bye.